warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So a quick reminder, this is not going to be a completely religious reminder, but it will be a reminder about a few things, inshallah. So I want to share with you a couple of status. And when I say status of our life, of our living, alhamdulillah. And status of what we have here in Montgomery County. And I want you just to assess the situation at the same time. Bismillah, salatu wasalam, rasulullah. So today, you have a shortage of 160 police officers within Montgomery County. The man and the woman power in the police department, in this department, is 1,300. 1300. 160 short means problems. And as a result of that problem, they're trying to get more people to the department more. But no one wants to be a police officer, not in this time. They think it's not a good job, especially it has been under a lot of scrutiny from the media, from the people, because of incidents that you know and that you're aware about at the same time. And I want you just to register. I'm passing facts to you, I'm not passing theories. And no one is going to tell you this. You're not going to see this in the news, but I'm just sharing it with you. It means what? What does it mean to you and me? Because I know Brother Mahdi, for example, his car got broken into a couple of days ago. I think it was last week, and his car was parked in his parking garage of his residence where he actually lived. And I know that the hottest crime in Montgomery County, and I'm going to share this with you, is carjacking, where a person take your car forcibly away from you, and theft from vehicle, where a person break into your car, maybe because you left some change in an open place, or maybe because you have a piece of electronic that was left behind, or a bag that it could have a laptop, or whatever the reason. Add that to the man shortage that I just shared with you, that makes the job very difficult, that makes it very hard. Last week I worked 2 nights of overtime. I get phone calls for overtime almost every week. And I'm not a big fan of working because I feel like life should not be only around working. But I try to help out at the same time. I'm sharing this with you because the current condition is not great. And this is not only happening in Montgomery County, this is something that's been going on nationwide at the same time. And then you feel like what they can do. So they start offering bonuses. Anyone who wants to be a police officer today, they get $20,000 sign-in bonus. This is in Montgomery County, believe it or not. DC just boosted up the sign-up bonus to $25,000. PG have a sign-up bonus of $20,000. LA have sign-up bonus of up to $75,000 in some department because of the cost of living that's a little more expensive in the West Coast. The next couple of years is not going to be easy. When anyone goes to the academy today, they have a completely different way of teaching them. They talk to them about what? One big fancy word, de-escalation. What does de-escalation mean? Means if there is a lot of issues going on, in the past, when we're ready to pull our gun out, in the past, when we're ready to go hands-on and actually fight with people, in the present, they want you to take a step back. Take a step back and assess the situation. Take a step back and have an ability. And I took a de-escalation class because I think it was useful. I'm not against training. I'm just sharing this with you. You need to have an ability to talk to people to calm them down. The best weapon, and this is where I'm going with all of this that I'm sharing with you, the best weapon that we all have, think about that, and I'm calling it a weapon, and though it's actually not a weapon, is your ability to speak to people. your tongue when you actually can talk to people in a way to calm them down. And if you notice that this is actually happening between us as Muslims at the same time. Because if there is something, there's an issue that maybe I'm having today, and I'm venting to one of you, and I said, I get a lot of issues, maybe at work, or maybe at home, or maybe with family members, or maybe with my children. And then you remind me that this life is all about struggle. You took my issue and you try and actually sending me a reminder that this life is about a struggle. And the good days comes in with the bad days. You gotta taste both of them. And inna ma'al usri yusra. And in that time of the hardship, there's always an ease. Right? You always can see, with the American slang, a light at the end of the tunnel, right? You always can see that light. So don't lose that light. The struggle is going to continue. On the other hand, we're struggling with a battle that's going on within the public school system that you're all familiar with. The battle of that gender identity. The battle of your kids or your future kids, the 5 years old from the early age, up to whatever the age, talking about gender identity, the stories that they can read, the teachers read for your own kids that you probably don't want your kids to know. It has still been forced on them in a way that you cannot even opt out. You can't say, I don't want my child to listen to this teacher that's telling a story that it is okay if you are a 5 years old girl and you would like to be a boy, you can be a boy. And it is okay if you are a 5 years old boy and you would like to be a girl, you can be a girl. And it is okay that you don't have to tell any of this to your parents at home. And most of us here, that they even not in Fajr, they may not be even aware of that. Because this is happening in the public school system in Montgomery County. And when I say not even aware of that, because the school system does not have to notify you as a parent. And the school system, they are not allowing you to opt out. You can't say, I don't want my child to attend this session. I don't want my child to sit down and listen to the teacher who's allowing him or her, the child, to be switching to another gender. So this is happening, something that we're trying to fight, and a lot of people fighting it. And we're trying to figure out, is it a Montgomery County driven issue? Or is it a state of Maryland driven issue? Or is it a federal driven issue? In both cases, and I know some of us were only focusing in the battle that's happening, which is great to try to fight for the rest of the Muslim, alhamdulillah. But we're not focusing on how to solve it. One of the people, when I spoke to him, he said, I took all my kids and my wife and I shipped them back to Egypt. I solved my problem. Well, you solved the problem of one person. And that means what? That means you put your marriage also in kind of a little not too great of a situation. Because your wife is not going to be with you anymore. You're probably going to go visit your kids in the summertime. But that's how he solved this problem. One of the other brothers came at me and mashallah, Allah provided him with wealth. He said, I took my kids out of the public school and I put them in a private school. And that solved my problem. But the majority of us cannot afford a private school. Let's just be honest. And the majority of us, maybe our condition in our countries is not giving us a chance to ship or to put our wife and kids back to the country and while we're actually working here. The reason that I'm trying to tell you all of this, while we're so focused on coming up with a solution within the school system, we're overlooking the fact that we can have our own solution. And when I'm saying this is, I notice each one of the masajid is operating individually. What did that mean? Means I'm raising fund Makes sense? Only for Imam Center, for example. And then another masjid, I'm raising fund for MCC, ICM, ICCP, whatever the name of the masjid, which is okay because you want to expand your structure, you want to maybe have certain activities, you get certain expenses that you want to cover. But why we're not raising fund from each masjid in Montgomery County to build a Muslim school? I'm trying to understand, why not? Why while we're raising fund, it has to be for me as a structure, for me as a masjid? Why we not assessing a problem? Because this is a problem that's actually going to affect your stay here. And some of us might say, hey man, I'm old, my kids are out of that age of the school, they even out of college, so this is not my problem. La wallahi, this is also your problem. If you don't care about Muslim people, you're not among them. من لم يهتم بالمسلمين فليس منهم. We need to care about each other. The future, you know what do? We hand that baton to our kids and we move on. And when I say we'll move on and we literally eventually move out of this life. And the kids are the future, right? Your kids, my kids, they come over and they actually, hopefully you hope that their life will be a better life than what we actually had. Maybe they did not have to struggle coming in from a different location or a different country. The point that I'm trying to tell you is money and donation is powerful. When you donate money, you need to demand, you need to assist what is my needs as an individual, as a person, as a Muslim person in Montgomery County. And I can tell you there's a lot of needs. If PG County has been having a Huda school, mashallah, in all of those years, mashallah, it's great. But why not Montgomery County, which have more money, as we know, which is more expensive, as we know, cannot have their own school? And it's not like we have a shortage of the masajid. We can collect money donated, come in and have a same exact speech between all of those masajid and have money devoted to buy a structure, a shared structure owned by Muslim ummah, the masajid at the same time. And maybe that will even solve our problem. The second problem that we're having, if we're assessing problem, is there is not even a one single funeral home in Montgomery County, if you're not aware of that part. The funeral home that we've been using is either in DC or most likely PGMA, which is a very common one that we use at the same time. That's a big problem, because now you need to understand what happened when I die. When I die, if I'm dying in Montgomery County, if it happened to be in Montgomery County, I need to call the police. Not me, but my family will. They need to, after the body will be released, there is no foul play, this is a natural death. The body will need to go get washed to be preparation for burial. And where is that washing is done? In a funeral home. The funeral home job is to get the body that was released, to wash the body, to prepare it for burial, and then to drive that body to the masjid, whatever the masjid is location, so the rest of us can pray in that body a janazah prayer, and then transport that body after that from the masjid to the graveyard. So think about this process, because today we don't have any of this in Montgomery County. We have to go outside at the same time. And why is this? Why we don't have it? Because believe it or not, there's a degree that's required. There's a degree that's required to have a funeral home. And if I have that degree, if I have that license, I can open as many funeral homes in different locations. To conclude all of this, I want you to think about all of this and assess our needs. When you have the power of donating money, you can also have the power of demanding where your money wants to go. Our problem that we are divided, and I'm saying this out loud, and I'm sorry to say that. And when I say we are divided, it's not because we don't like each other. it's because we would like to operate separately. I have a structure, and everyone is more than welcome to come to this structure, to this masjid, for example, and I'm trying to expand in that structure, and I'm trying to build even more facility to observe the increase of the people that becoming in that structure, but I'm not assessing the need of the people at the same time. You need to have a voice in this. You need to understand what's going on. Our life is not just based on alhamdulillah and coming in here and praying and greeting each other and leaving and repeating this again and again and again. Assess what's good, not just for your family, but what's good for the future of Muslim people, that they will be living in this country at the same time. Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. We had a good picnic yesterday. We had a good time in the picnic, alhamdulillah. If you showed up in the picnic, it was great to see you. If you did not show up in the picnic, I'm sure you had a busy August statement time. And inshallah, we'll see you next time. Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
جزاك الله خير.
وإياكم. وعليكم.